I've said, can also impact knowledge on others. EBS RCM is not new to you. That's the system that monitors the revenue. And of course, we have e-service points all over the place, where you can move in and do transactions that got to do with payments with state government, be it MDAs or even internal service. The EBS RCM, of course, give you the opportunity to take track of payments. And of course, it's not new that for every payer, there is a unique identifier, which is called BID, Payer Identification Number, that is attached to each payer. And that becomes the code for that payer, and for any subsequent payment, it makes use of that payer identification number. And of course, the process of transaction, you're all aware of it. It's also a means of enumeration. What do I mean? My colleague will throw more light on this, which is of course, apart from the existing database, if a new player is coming in for the first time, is equally tagged by giving a unique identification number, and subsequently that becomes its ID. It's also possible for you to also monitor such a payment, such a taxpayer rather, with that unique identification number. The automated revenue receipt is one of the deliverables under EBS RCM. I'm sure it's not new to everybody here. We all know the feature of automated revenue receipt. And another vital feature of it is the validation of the receipt. How do we know that the receipt given to us by the taxpayer is genuine? To know that, it's very simple. Of course, you validate. How? You can use your phone to validate. You can use internet. If you are connected with internet, you can use that. Then also, there is QR code, which you can also use as a means of validation, just to be sure that before you give value, the payer actually paid to the state government's account. That is the essence of the validation.
Sorry, sir. Can you take the third one?
Yeah, the validation of.
Yes, the third. Mention phone.
Okay, there is phone. Yeah. There is internet. If you log on to Lagos State EBS RCM, and on the receipt now, there is a QR code. QR code. Don't worry, my colleague will throw more light on that. My own role is just to, welcome you and just refresh again, because all these things, most of it, I'm sure you're already aware of them. And we've talked about the receipt validation. If you look at Lagos State EBS RCM website these days, you see fraud alerts notice. How can you, confirm what are the processes that you can actually assist you to confirm whether a receipt is genuine or not? All those information, my colleague will take you through it. And of course, tax clearance certificate is not new to any of us, because I won't pay the taxpayer complied. At the end of the day, you give him or her an evidence that he has actually satisfied, all righteousness in terms of payment of tax. And the evidence for that is just tax clearance certificate. Even though you pay every month, you have your receipt for payment every month. if you are to show an evidence that you are actually paying your tax in the state, what do you do? Just flag your tax clearance certificate. Unlike before, now we have electronic tax clearance certificate. That is, it's no longer paper-based. Understand? And the same way you validate your receipt, you can also validate the electronic tax clearance certificate. All this is to make sure there are no loopholes as much as possible. These are the, some of the deliverables we have under EBS RCM. And of course, these days, you can even use your phone. You log on to EBS RCM, a lot of features there. A lot of information on tax, on MDAs, on settlements, regarding revenue matters. So, as much as possible, I want to use this opportunity to tell you that, see, this product to me is your product, it's your baby, right? So you should be able to, as much as possible, make the best of it. I mean, I can't imagine anybody coming to Waterhouse at head office to say you want a copy of a report. This is something you should be able to log on yourself and generate. And that is the essence of this workshop. It's not just for, an annual get-together, taking of tea, taking of snacks, right? But for you to be able to sit down in your office and do your work more efficiently. Because, of course, this product is not new to the state. This is probably the 13th or the 12th year, understand? So please, anything that is not clear to you, apart from the theoretical aspect, you also go through the practical. As much as possible, please, because, of course, there are records. And we're also coming to your MDA to say, Mr. ABC are good to go. Let them also train others. So please, as much as possible, there are any area that you are not clear about, don't leave this hall without holding Mr. Pichukwu and other facilitators let them explain it. And on your system too, you have EBS manager. EBS manager enables you to, roll as many reports as possible, depends on your need. And if, for whatever reason, there are reports that you think you need that are not there, you are at liberty to come to Alphabeta, meet the head of software or e-banking. Be rest assured that they will give you just the way you want it. But for now, you have a series of reports there, so make maximum use of it. And of course, the PPC, that is also one of the deliverables. The PPC give you an opportunity to actually post, transact business in an offline situation where there's no connectivity, or even there's no light. Because with battery and the printer that also uses battery, you can transact business. After which, you can then upload when there's connectivity, and the same receipt under that situation, you can equally validate it. That is what some ministries like LASG, like MDA are using as we're speaking. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to once again welcome you to 2013 workshops, and I wish every one of us the best session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you and welcome. Once again, my name is Pichukwu, and this is Alpha Beta Consulting Limited Liability Partnership. Some people came in briefly later than the others, and that means that we don't even know ourselves. So let's begin with you without wasting our time. Can you please tell us your name and the MDA you are representing?
My name is from Legal Data.
Good morning, everybody. My name is from Legal State Essence Committee.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Eric Ogunmolayo, so representing Oregon Task Force. Morning, everybody. Toby Faba will be get at tax office.
Good morning, sir. My name is LASG from Education District 1.
No, what about the other ones? Please. Pass it down.
Okay, we are done. Okay, fine. There's a new person? Okay.
My name is Paul from Lagos Alamatan Hospital.
Thank you so much. Ms. Atibu is here.
You're welcome. Just a brief. Let's be sure we have our training kits. In it, there's a CV there. It contains CBT, that is training. Some of these things you'll be listening to here. You can go home inside the CV to the system and go over the process. But it's very important to be part of every activity that will take place here today. Don't let anybody do it for you. If the person is doing it, try to do it yourself. There's something you practice, you can never forget. Because you will always remember you have done it before. And please, I know in the long we met, or we just meet a new friend, we have a lot of things to discuss. This period that we want to interact, devote it for this for now. Workshop is once a year. Before we have to come again, go to the next day. And if you miss anything today, the colleague you don't want to ask may not be the area that will interest you, that the guy is looking up to. So you will not be able to give you that aspect like this. And opportunity is there for you to raise up your hand and ask us to pause, to capture, and to repeat the session that you missed. Please feel free, relax and enjoy yourself. You are welcome.
Thank you so much. Yes, you are all welcome. I've observed one thing. A lot of people here are from the hospitals. Are you all sick people or doctors now? Because you are from the hospital now. And then the others are from tax stations. I want to disappoint those people from tax stations. This is alpha beta. We don't do tax assessments. And because you are here today, you are off duty. So everybody relax. Nobody is thinking of taxing you today. Nobody is thinking of increasing your taxes today. So the tax people, you are off duty. In fact, we're taking you off because you are not going to tax anybody today. So all I'm trying to say is please feel free. Relax. If you make this place a home, then you'll be able to understand what you are trying to do. We don't just want to talk and do today. We want you to be able to practice. And you can only get that in a good atmosphere. Feel free to interact with us. And for the hospital people, we are not coming to your hospital today. So to start in earnest, I have Mr. Leke Adenuga, who is going to give us a brief overview of what the EBS RCM is all about. Mr. Leke Adenuga is Deputy Head, Information Systems Department of Alpha Beta Consulting, LLP.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to the 5th edition of the EBS RCM workshop. I'm going to take us the EBS RCM overview, but before that, a colleague of mine has done a brief introduction to that, so I'm just going to do a recap of that. But before I continue, I want to know those of us that have attended this workshop before in the past. This is the 5th edition. If you have attended this workshop before in the past, kindly raise up your hand. Just only 3 of us, 4 of us. Others are new. Okay, that's fine. That will make the workshop more interesting. This year's workshop, we are going to be more practical than theory. Because those ones we've been doing in the past, you see, find people calling us here and there, ask some funny questions. There's a lot of things by now that we expect you as a tax authority or agency to be able to do without even making reference to alpha beta staff at all. And that is one of the reasons why we are organizing this workshop. And it's going to be more of practical. At the end of this workshop, you should be able to handle the system yourself, attend to taxpayer requests without any issue. I believe we all have player IDs or ETCC card. Is there any one of us that doesn't have ETCC card? Tax clearance card. You don't have tax clearance card. It's not with you, but you have. You have. You don't have. From which tax station? Agency. Federal hospital. Okay. And you don't have a tax clearance card at all. When did you join this service? July, recent. Okay, that is one. That means you will need one. Actually, the state governments normally send your data to us around January to February of every year for us to update the system. So like this kind of workshop we are trying to organize now, that means you need a player ID, that's your tax identification number, for you to even be able to log on to the system and carry out all the functions you are going to learn in this particular workshop. Because at the end of this workshop, I expect you to be able to attend to the taxpayer request. After this workshop, I'm going to be monitoring calls coming from the agency. So if I find out that your request, what we are asking for, is what you have been taught in this workshop, and you are still unable to do it, because at the end of this workshop, you are going to award certificate. So that means I will call for withdrawal of your certificate. Yes, that is it. So you need to be attentive and concentrate while you are doing the practical, so that you'll be able to know everything and ask questions. Now, just like my colleague has said earlier, EBS RCM is the electronic banking system of revenue cycle management. This is government account as the agency code that is tied to the payment, where that particular money is going to. Is it Board of Internal Revenue? The banks, we said there's no connectivity, we can't connect to alpha beta server. They will say alpha beta server is down. They can't push. They use all these funny lies to disengage the taxpayer for them to deal with. But now there's nothing like that again. Because you yourself, as an agency, you can connect to alpha beta server at any point in time. Even in your bedroom, you can connect to alpha beta server. All these service points we have in the past before was for us to connect to the server, but with the trends in information technology now, alpha beta server, or let me say the LASG database server has been migrated to the cloud, whereby you can connect to it at any point in time. There's no any downtime again. If you are not in the office, if you are at home and you have all this you're done with your modem, be it Visa phone, MTN or whatever, just plug into your system, you are on, and you can access any information, access any report, generate any report you want. You don't have to say until when I get to the office. So you can work from home now, connect to the server, generate any reports you want to generate, and that is the level where we are now. So no banks have any excuse to say, well, I cannot post transaction because the server is down or this, nothing of such again. So the systems allow the banks to post transaction immediately and generate automated receipt for taxpayer immediately. And this allows us to do a proper monitoring of the state government's fund. As teller is posting the transaction, posting the payment, is eating the LASG server. At times, it depends on the network of the banks. The transaction must even eat LASG server before eating the banking application, because we design it in such a way that we deploy an application to the banks that we call ePay. It will be introduced to the application in the course of this workshop. The aspects that concern us. The banks post transaction on this platform and generate automated receipts immediately, and the transaction hits the LASG servers immediately, and the banking database as well. Now the systems allow what we call continuous enumeration. It allows what we call a continuous enumeration. Now, because every taxpayer in the state is being identified with what we call a tax, that is payer ID, payer identification number. And once you have that, then the states can monitor your payments. You as a tax officer, you'll be able to monitor taxpayer under your jurisdiction, the high net worth, if it is companies is also sectorized. It's also sectorized. The system allows you to know those companies that are under banking and finance in your jurisdiction, that is your agency. Those companies that are under what is it called? Energy industries and others. The systems allow you to know all those companies, and you can generate your report. Based on that, you yourself can do a forecast. You can do a budget and say, okay, this is what I'm expecting from my agency next year. The systems allow you to do that, and it allows continuous enumeration of the taxpayer. Now, in the course of this workshop, there are some new features that has been introduced into the system, and that is part of what we want us to know today in this workshop, so that it will also enhance your productivity in the system. And my people is going to dwell on that in the subsequent section, and we are going to do a lot of practicals on this. Now, before I round up, for those of us that doesn't have PID, please let us endeavor to get one. Probably you can see any of my people for the close of the workshop by giving us your full name. Give us your full name, we'll create one for you, and that will enable you to log into the system to practice what you are going to learn today, so that you won't wait until, like you that just joined the service this July, before we get your information from the state government. That will be by January or February of next year, and that is by giving us your tax information. But before then, if you have the PID, even by giving us your information, we are still going to create PID for you. But if you create it now, by the time your information will come, the system will just merge it and you have access to it. And those of us that have PID and not been using it, I believe many of us have never logged into the system before. either the website or the EBS manager or whatever. Let me see those that have logged in to the EBS manager or website to do one thing or the other before.
Not with my PID.
You said?
Not with my PID.
Not with your PID.
Not with mine.
Not with yours.
Yeah.
Why?
I have PID, but I can't log in.
You can't log in.
As an agency,
As an agency,
yeah, I understand its own
you with your own or
No, not with my PID.
with another person's PID.
Not with my own.
Not with your own also. With another person. Well, you should be able to log in with your own. You should be able to log in with your own so that you can work with your own. Because the reason is this. The reason is the system is designed in such a way that, for instance, the three of you that are logging in now with another person's PID, that means that at that particular point in time that you are using that person's PID, that person will not be able to work because you can't log in into the system in two different places at a time. One login will terminate the other. The system recognizes that user at a particular time. So that is why you need to log in with your own PID. Actually, we designed the system in such a way that we create an admin for each of the agencies, and the admin adds the users. But in the situation whereby you cannot even contact your admin person or you don't know your admin person, and you can talk to this man, gentleman here, Stanley Bentley, who will give you his phone number. Once you call him and give him your details, and you can verify that yes, you are an agency, you are staff of that agency. Will give you access to it, so that you'll be able to log in. So my people will dwell on how to log in, how to create, because today, just as I said, it has to be a practical. It has to be a practical. But now that you've not even logged into the system, that means you are going to take us more time to really do this. But how many of us have our ETCC card here? ETCC card. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Madam, you don't have.
I didn't have PID.
You don't have PID at all. Madam, no. You have, it's not here. I thought suppose you have now, log in as a new user and begin to work. So I don't know. Maybe my people will find a way out so that you'll be able to, because I want you to lay your hands on the system and do this practical. Just as I said, I'm going to have the list of all the participants and I will have it on my system along with your PID and information. So if you call me for anything and I find out that you are one of the people that have attended this workshop before and your question is not a major one, there's a question mark. So once again, you are welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Leke and Alpha Beta Consulting Limited Liability Partnership. We're consultants to Lagos State Government on internally generated revenue. Let me recount what he said. He said that the platform that Lagos State Government is using to monitor the revenue and track revenue is called Electronic Bank System of Revenue Cycle Management.